Making jewelry, it's like a 7-stage process. There's about 7 different trades that go into it. We start from a sketch.
You know, I describe myself as a mechanic.
And we scribble down some general ideas of where they want to go with the project.
I don't really consider myself an artist.
And then we'll make a detailed sketch.
Artists died blind and broke.
So the next step is what we call a rendering in the computer, and that's where you get the real good detail.
I was in high school. I took auto shop, metal shop, wood shop, and then finally they offered a jewelry shop class.
We put it through the 3D printer, and we'll get what we call a wax model.
And that first day, I knew I was switching to jewelry.
Just to see that it came off the page the way you visualized it, the client can put it on their finger and make sure they love it, and then you'll wind up with what we call the metal ring, be it platinum, white gold, yellow gold, or silver.
I am partners with my brother.
When I was younger, I wanted to be a pizza guy. I was working in a pizzeria. My brother was very, very mechanical, hands-on with everything, and he got into the jewelry business.
My brother could talk to people.
Right in the middle of an interview, you maniac.
I'm sorry.
What's going on?
I'm sorry.
Right. And this is my favorite client, right?
And I was very good with inanimate objects, and so it was a great partnership right from day one.
The client was looking at it. The only thing, it's alternating emerald cuts and ovals, and then on the side it kind of goes to a slope. You know, listen, do we ever butt heads? Of course we do. I think if we didn't, it would be abnormal. But he wants an estimate 3/4 of the way around, and if we could put it in an eternity band all the way around. So diamonds.
So the emerald cuts are like 4 1/3 millimeter. Same thing for the ovals. No, we could do it. We'll adjust the size. We'll make it an eternity. That's going to be gorgeous. Okay. Yeah, we could do that. No worries.
As long as I make them happy, that's the thing.
All right.
There's some kind of glue, there's some kind of cement there that keeps us together, and it's, you know, it's 4 decades strong.
The first step is design, the second step rendering and the wax, and then it goes into final production once we get an approval. It goes to the goldsmith, and the goldsmith will clean the casting, set the stones, and in this case, we're going to change the basket to accommodate this aquamarine.
You know, and then the concept of making jewelry and opening up a jewelry store didn't come till later.
And now I have to trim back the prongs and get it ready for final polishing.
He taught me how to be a diamond setter, and we worked together in a company in the city for a few years.
So our first store was in a strip mall. We stayed there for 10 years. We wound up buying that unit.
In the real estate business, I always felt it was very exciting.
We knew we wanted to go somewhere in Westchester, and we looked at a couple different locations, mostly for the real estate.
So the path to entrepreneurship was, 1, learning the craft, 2, being able to listen to what people want and make jewelry for them. And then, you know, we bought the real estate and we built these really cool places.
My theory was to have my standalone store. And then we found a property in Scarsdale.
You know, listen, we're a log cabin. It's not your cookie cutter store. This is very, very different.
Well, you know, it's an experience. We're a destination store. When you come into the log cabin, the warm feel, the music, friendly faces, a lot of sparkly stuff.
And I'll tell you, inside the store in here, it's a wonderful day.
My brother was more into sales.
So that was a 1-ounce coin that they cut it, they milled it, and they made it the watch. Isn't it beautiful?
Gorgeous.
The way it works?
Sales is another profession altogether in itself.
This is pure gold in the middle, right? Gorgeous piece.
There's no business, there's no shop, there's no jewelry store without sales.
They make an automatic one, but it's much thicker. I wasn't crazy about the automatic. I like the thinness. I guess it's kind of a motivation to be your own boss.
Still love it. You know, time is flying. It's, coming into the jewelry store or into the jewelry shop. I just have so much fun.
So the people are coming in. Maybe they're attracted to what's inside the showcase, but if the earrings have to be a little bit longer, the ring, they want a certain kind of ring, especially with bridal. They want the wedding band to fit next to the engagement ring. Make all of these things happen that most stores don't.
She was thinking of possibly using the emerald to make a necklace, gold and emeralds, beautiful emeralds.
The story back then was that if you do what you love to do, you never work a day in your life.
This way you don't wind up doing something you don't like, and then hopefully you get lucky and you find a passion.
If you're going to be in a business like this, you need to know it all yourself.
We're living in a world with a lot of distractions. The phone constantly getting tapped and hit and pinged. You got to concentrate on on what you like. You got to do what you enjoy, and hopefully, God willing, it'll be fulfilling.
I mean, I'm in business for 42 years now, so this is my third lineup. I developed into being an entrepreneur. I was taught in the beginning is that don't pay attention to money, pay attention to the work. If you're good at the work, the money's going to come, and it did.
The whole jewelry experience, I think, is very fun.
You know, we're in the accessory business. I love accessories myself.
We sell a lot of diamonds. That's what we love to do.
To create something from nothing, you know, that's the satisfaction.